Today we're going to talk about when to dethatch your lawn and what to look for so you know if you need to do it. Let's go. All right, so let's talk about timing first of all. Now, cool season grass like mine, my Kentucky bluegrass, the best time to get in and do this work is going to be early in the season before the grass is totally out of dormancy, because you're going to do a lot of damage to what's alive. If you wait and the grass is growing and it's active, it would really have a hard time recovering, especially as summer heat comes on. While you can do some of it being super aggressive, best time to do it is in early spring. So let's distinguish the thatch situation here, and I want to show you what's manageable, what's okay, versus what's not. And I want to point out, this behind me is not thatch. This does not qualify as thatch. We're going to get into what all this is here in a minute and what to do about it. So here's about a 3-inch plug I pulled out of the lawn, and you can see everything that's going on here, very plain as day. My thatch layer is here, okay? So we've got about a 1/2 inch, which is a nice manageable level. What you have in here is roots, stolons, life, all sorts of things in sort of all manner of decay. That's what your thatch layer is. This also holds a lot of moisture, and this can get out of control like this right here. Now, if you look at this thatch layer is like 2 inches, maybe almost 3 inches. It is out of control, and there's a couple of ways to manage that. But let's say you didn't cut a core, how would you know? Well, have you ever walked across a mattress before or a big foam camping pad? If your lawn feels squish and it's not water, you're actually feeling the sponginess, you probably have a bad thatch problem. Okay, so let's talk about the management of the thatch problem here real quick. There's really only a couple of things that you can do here. Now, again, this is fine. When we're in the springtime, this level is probably going to be the highest. As it went into dormancy and things started to die, everything's cold. We haven't really gotten into the heat where microbes will start kind of working and breaking the stuff down and turning it into mineralized and good soil, right? Like that's gonna break down and just add to the organic matter of the soil. Well, I'm gonna put this guy away. I don't need to show you this anymore. If you're wondering what all this is about, this is caused by voles. They're little rodents, about this big. They live under the snow in the wintertime. They build nests in here. They feed off the crowns. They dig around and they just follow these little paths. And all of this just takes place when the grass is dormant. And it does cause some damage. It'll fill in for the most part on its own. There are things you can speed up the process. I'll do that in a later video. In a heavy thatch situation, really you're down to like 2 options, okay? Using a power rake, which is going to be the best. These little homeowner versions, the Sunjos, all of those little ones, like the one I have, are really better for cleaning up more than they're going to have a major impact on a bad thatch problem. Now, if you go in and get a big, heavy-duty power rake, that is going to cut down into the ground and yank and rip and tear and pull stuff to the surface. And it's amazing how much material you can pull off of a lawn with an aggressive dethatcher power raker. Now, the little ones, they're not bad. If you're gonna be doing this as sort of a maintenance type thing and you're just sort of taking it down over time, that's gonna be okay. You can just keep pulling debris and pulling debris, and it's not gonna hurt anything, but it'll never give you that deep and aggressive dethatching you can get with a true commercial dethatcher. Now, the next option, which would be maybe more common, or at least this is what would be used in sports turf, would be to aerate the lawn aggressively. And in some cases, thatch layers, a hollow tine aerator doesn't really even make a huge impact. It's just kind of pushing things around and not really doing what it should. But let's just say you can get a nice 4-inch tine hollow aerator that can go out and pull this big heavy thatch material up. Then dilution becomes your friend. So a lot of the time, pulling and then replacing every hole that you pulled out of here, cleaning all that material, and then replacing with a topsoil type of top dressing or a sand top dressing or something to start diluting out your thatch layer is the next option. That is typically what happens in a green. You do an aeration on there, you do a top dressing. So you're pulling out organic matter, you're filling it back in with something with nothing in it, roots fill into that spot, and over time you just sort of build up this managed thatch situation through dilution. So those are really the 2 major ways to deal with huge problems as far as thatch goes. Managing it later through your practices, through mowing and fertilizing and watering and doing everything right, that's going to make the biggest difference on not having it build up again. But for right now, I want to do a test, okay? I have installed my detaching mower blade and I have my Sunjoe cordless down there. So we're gonna run those side by side and do a little comparison over here and see what pulls up what. I'm not gonna sink that mower down super low. And as you can see, the bag is off of it, so everything should kind of stay put. Let's see what it looks like. I don't expect a lot of debris to come off the lawn right now. It's actually coming out of spring in pretty good shape, but let's just do a comparison and see what the grass looks like when we're done with them. All right, so I'm gonna hit it again. I'm gonna lower down the detaching blade a little bit further. I've got the Sunjoe down as far as it'll go. So I'm gonna drop that a little bit more. Then once this is done, I'll put the regular mower blade back on and mow this section, collect everything that comes off of it, and collect everything off the other side. Now you can see the stripes that are out here. It looks like it's cutting the grass. It's not really, it seems like it's kind of laying it over. It's giving it that kind of striped look. So when we run over it with the regular blade, we'll pull everything up into a bag. We'll dump that bag out into each of these spots and cut it at the same height so that if there is anything that's being cut off of here, it ends up being equal and we can see both dead grass and, you know, the live clippings in there as well. So let me lower this and we'll do it again. Just a quick warning, if you are using one of these aggressive mower dethatchers, when you start your mower, tip it up so it's not just sitting right down there in the ground. It puts a lot of torque on the engine. You could burn up belts, or I mean, hell, you could probably even unthread the bolt off the bottom of these things. So start the mower with it tilted up. Well, if that doesn't put it in perspective as to what the blade does versus the Sunjoe, I don't know what will. So let's clean this thing up. But I feel like I'm gonna end up running that whole thing over the entire yard, because if you were really doing just a major spring cleanup, that's really impressive. And there's plenty of time for the grass to recover, and this is just gonna do nothing but help. So I'll show you this blade here when I take it off, and then we'll mow this thing up and take a look at it. This is the dethatching mower blade that I use. I got on Amazon, there's a link below. I have videos on this, on where I've used it in the past. So it's a few seasons old. Obviously it doesn't get used a whole lot, but I want you to look at these, how the tines are compared to what's on a Sunjoe. So this should put it in perspective for you as to what's really happening. Now there's a lot more on here, but consider this is spinning while you're moving. You're gonna get the same coverage out of it, and you can see just how much difference there is between the two. Plus you got all that torque behind your mower and the total RPMs out of that thing. Now again, nothing wrong with these. They work just fine. But I think that if you were really gonna be aggressive and you needed to really clean something out, the Sunjoe is just going to be your little maintenance guy, and this is something that'd be more aggressive. And you're talking about something that's maybe $35 versus 100 and something for the corded, or 250, 300 for the cordless. But now let's just go ahead and bag this stuff up and take a look at it. Now for this, just real quick, I am leaving the mower deck the same height it was when I ran that detaching blade, so it'll just more work like a vacuum. Let's get down into these piles here so you can really see what I'm seeing. And then I think you'll understand where I'm going with this. All right, let's start out with Sunjoe. Now look, there's hardly any green grass in here at all. This is light and dry, and it just picked up debris. There is nothing It did not get down into the ground at all. This is just basically cleaning up dead grass blades and nothing else. It's not getting in there and really tearing it up. This is just cleaning up. So it's a good spring cleanup tool, but it's really more like, really like a powered leaf rake, and that's about what you're gonna get out of it. Let's look at this other thing, and I wanna show you what's happening over here. It's very light, and it's got like no density to it. So let's look over here and see what's happening on this side. Now, a lot more green grass, right? And you can see how it's just shredded. It got in, it pulled and yanked and got down deeper. In fact, you can see where it actually got in and started to get through into this, what would be the thatch layer. Because of that, because there's so much more green material, that's what I was saying earlier, is it's basically ripping everything apart, which is why you wouldn't want to do this late in the season. It'll just shred your grass, which is going to lead towards disease and things like that. This is the time to do it. If you're going to stress it out and cause problems, this is just going to grow up and mow out. But the cool thing is you could see where those tines on the mower blade got down in and actually were scraping up some dirt and some earth as well, not just pulling out that light dead stuff. It was getting in and being a lot more aggressive, which if you have a problem, you need to be aggressive. You need to be as aggressive as you can. And you know, this right now basically just looks like it got a fresh mow. And since we're still early in the season, this is gonna rebound really super fast. So anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and just end the video here, doing a little extra cleanup around the lawn. So stay tuned, I got some more videos coming up here very soon. And you know, we're gonna have this place all whipped into shape and summer ready in no time. I'll talk to y'all real soon. See ya.